Now on 4 News Now at 6, hospitals are battling a rise in RSV cases. The symptoms one family says their son was experiencing before one of his lungs collapsed.
Ski and snowboard season is getting an early start this year, but will we be seeing fresh snow anytime soon? I'll let you know in the First Alert forecast.
And a local jail plagued with staffing shortages, while one county commissioner says it will take months to get back to full strength. You're watching 4 News Now at 6 o'clock.
Nationwide, children's hospitals are filling up with young kids battling RSV.
And in the inland Northwest, it's no different. Take a look at this new data from the CDC. We first saw the spike here representing positive cases around this time last year in Washington. This second line indicating where we're at now and where we're headed. Those young kids are the ones most at risk of becoming extremely sick. Emily Bloom spoke to one local family hit by the virus with a 7-year-old named Jackson in the hospital tonight.
Jackson is going to be spending a 4th night here at the hospital. He's on the mend and starting to improve, but doctors wanted to check on his damaged lung for one more night.
Let's just say that our entire world got turned upside down.
Mike Boyle's 7-year-old son, Jackson, started to feel sick last Friday.
By Sunday, the cough had started to really pick up to the point where it was just turning beet red as he was coughing.
They decided to take him in to see the doctor, and 2 hours later, he was in the ER with poor oxygen levels.
When we came in, the emergency room was packed with kids. Packed. I mean, I've never seen it that busy with children.
They spent most of the day in the ER because there were no rooms available.
So they did an X-ray and found that his left lung had partially collapsed.
Pediatricians tell us RSV is not a new virus. It usually peaks after Christmas, but they're seeing much more than they usually do, and they believe it could be due to isolation during the pandemic.
Everybody's immune system is sort of, I don't know, naive again. It hasn't seen anything for a while, and so as soon as it sees something, it latches on. And RSV is now just easier to get.
RSV starts out looking like the common cold, but things can shift quickly.
If your child is having difficulty breathing, if they're coughing so hard they're throwing up, if they're really not eating well or drinking well, both, then they really do need to be seen.
Thursday night, I was with him all night. It's the first night he slept without an oxygen mask on his face, which was great improvement.
Providence shared today that they have seen a rise in patients with RSV, especially for those under the age of 5. Now, coming up on Monday, our local leaders will be sharing a message with the community about our situation here in Spokane. Reporting live in Spokane, Emily Bloom, 4 News Now.
Breaking news out of Grant County tonight. Sheriff's deputies say they are investigating the deaths of 2 men in the town of Warden, and they're calling those deaths suspicious. Sheriff's investigators say the bodies of the 2 men in their late 20s were found inside a home around 11 o'clock last night. Detectives say both men lived there, and there were no obvious signs of foul play. There's still no word on why the sheriff's office is calling the deaths suspicious, but autopsies are scheduled for next week, and those could shed more light on what led to their deaths.
A multi-car crash at Trent and Argonne in the Spokane Valley sent several people to the hospital. Washington State Patrol is investigating.
Well, it's opening weekend for a few local ski resorts, and it's definitely cold enough to go skiing, but will we be getting any more snow anytime soon? Let's send it over to Chief Meteorologist Chris Crocker with your First Alert forecast.
No, we have the clouds. It's been a gray afternoon and evening around the inland Northwest, but nothing coming out of those clouds. Maybe an isolated flurry over the higher terrain as you head east into the Cascades. Otherwise, those clouds are all bark and no bite. However, it is plenty cold enough to make snow, and the snow that we've already received isn't going anywhere. Take a look at our current temperatures around the region. We're in the 20s at Fairchild Air Force Base and Spokane International Airport. Our temperatures today were more than 10 degrees below average. 30 in Spangle right now. It's 30 in Post Falls as well as in Hayden. Here's our overnight lows tonight. With those clouds, it will be just a little bit warmer, fewer single digits, fewer teens. Temperatures in the lower 20s through the I-90 corridor, 22 in Spangle, 16 tonight in Deer Park. Meanwhile, we take a look at our Saturday planner. A chilly start to the day with some patchy fog. Areas of freezing fog possibility. Then we should see some sunshine as we get into the afternoon, getting up to a high of 35 degrees, still just about 10 degrees below average. I will be back with the second half of your weekend forecast and see if there's any snow on the way in just a few minutes. Aaron?
Thank you, Chris. Last night we told you about a black bear that was killed by Fish and Wildlife. The bear had been roaming around the Northwood neighborhood near Spokane Valley. It was eating people's chickens. And as you can see in this video, it even showed up at people's front and back porches. We reached out to the department to find out why the bear couldn't be relocated. They said that once a bear knows about a non-natural food source, they just keep coming back and lose their fear of humans. That's why they say moving the bear was not a long-term solution. The decision to euthanize black bears are typically made through close coordination between multiple agencies, including Fish and Wildlife and law enforcement. We continue tonight with the staffing shortages at the Geiger Correctional Facility.
Officials there tell us they're running into several challenges to recruit and maintain corrections staff, despite offering $7,500 sign-on bonuses. KXLY's Jordan Smith joins us from Geiger tonight with more on the shortage and the challenges they're facing.
Well, those challenges include just getting people interested, a lack of training opportunities, and of course, just retaining the corrections officers they have here at Geiger, as it's a feeder position into other branches of law enforcement. The correction officer shortage at Geiger has been a difficult course to navigate. The facility's primary problem lies with retention.
The challenge is that the jail is kind of a feeder for law enforcement. Our training is similar, so the jail is an easy spot for law enforcement to pick up, officers from, because a lot of the front-end work has already been done.
Of the 7 new hires Geiger has secured, we're told 3 of them are in the process of transferring to SPD. The pandemic backlogged the justice system by delaying processings and face-to-face trials, meaning the length of stay for inmates has been extended, many of them still waiting for trial. The average length of stay in the downtown facility, roughly 200 days. And at that facility, the inmate population continues to grow at a rate that's outpacing the number of COs available to look after them, which means the staff from Geiger could be further depleted.
We may have to draw back additional staff from the Geiger facility to staff the downtown facility.
And because Geiger is specifically designed to hold low-level offenders, they cannot accept inmates from the downtown facility to help alleviate that pressure. But even if they hired everyone they needed by today, it would still be an uphill battle. It's a 9-month training process to become a corrections officer, and there are just 4 academy courses offered each year to be a CO in Washington state. Each course offering just 35 spots that jails all across the state are fighting for. Geiger hoping their incentives and benefits are enough to attract correctional officers for a long-term commitment.
We're offering a $7,500 bonus for new hires, a $10,000 bonus for someone that wants to come in laterally.
And Michael Sparber says he's incredibly grateful to his staff here at Geiger for how flexible they've been and, of course, their commitment to law enforcement. He says if you want to join their team, you can learn more information on how to apply at the Spokane County website, or you can call the number on your screen now for the recruitment office. Reporting from the Geiger Correctional Facility, I'm Jordan Smith, 4 News Now.
Tens of thousands of veterans are experiencing homelessness across the country. What things you can do to help those who served coming up.
This piece of history returned to the skies. Its mission, honoring those who served our country, will take you up in the air in the historic B-25 and the lessons we can learn from it. Coming up next on 4 News Now at 6.
4 News Now on your time with Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Kelly's all new.
That's you, girl.
Awful.
Weekdays at 4.
Scarlett was sitting at home freezing by candlelight without power. She looks at her boyfriend's photograph next to his quality stove, so warm and cozy. She says, "I must have heat. I can't wait another week." Buy you and your loved ones the gift of warmth. Scarlett finds the perfect selection of Lopi and Fireplace Extraordinaire gas, wood, and pellet stoves that will keep her warm. Red hot sale at Quality Stoves.
Parents and grandparents hear it time and time again. Enjoy every minute because it goes by so quickly. With their first steps, they start imagining, exploring, and dreaming of what's next. You can help put those dreams in motion by saving for college with Washington's 529 College Investment Plan. Building their Dream Ahead account now can help them be ready for wherever their dreams take them. Give your student the gift of education today at wastate529.wa.gov.
With more and more people working from home and not being as active as they used to, there's never been a better time to get back to the gym.
And Move Fitness wants to help. You can join now for around $1 a day to create a new routine for you.
Join the movement.
Remote car starts, light bars, aggressive winter tires. Nobody knows how to prepare your vehicle better for winter than the pros at Snow's Auto. And this week, they are marking down some of the best buys of the year on all stereos, speakers, subwoofers, and amps as we give thanks to our rides in November with cool new upgrades to keep you warm in the cold months ahead. Snow's Auto does it all.
Are you ready for winter and unexpected power outages? Talk with the experts at Country Homes Power to find the best fireplace to protect your home, even when the power goes out. Like Valor gas fireplaces. Visit Country Homes Power today.
Let's wave the flag together. Hello, I'm Mark Peterson with 4 News Now, presenting the Great American Flag Swap. Bring your old tattered flag to a flag swap coming early next year, and in exchange, you'll receive a new American-made flag from Uncle Sam's Flag and Gift.
BECU is proud to be part of the Great American Flag Swap. We're honored to live in a community that supports veterans and military families who sacrifice for the benefit of us all. Visit us in Spokane and see what banking is like when people come first. BECU, not for profit, equals more for people.
Ooh, some of the sights and sounds of the USS Abraham Lincoln, the site for the Armed Forces Classic between Gonzaga and Michigan State. The game was played on the flight deck of the aircraft carrier.
Oh, we bring in sports director Julian Minensone, who has the latest on the matchup. Julian.
Yeah, when it comes to the actual game, Gonzaga actually had so many factors to take into account. The weather, outdoors, depth perception of the hoop. It was truly a basketball game unlike any other, guys. And it showed in the first half. The game was a little bit sloppy at times, but once it got going, man, it was electric. Check this out right here. Julian Strother gets things started for Gonzaga with the three-pointer. Gonzaga head coach Mark Few said Michigan State would be tough, though, and he wasn't wrong. Tyson Walker hits the three, and that's when Drew Timme, well, he decided to take over. He does what Drew Timme does right here. How do you even think about making a shot like that? Timme led the way with 22 points. The Zags got a defensive stop in the final seconds, and Gonzaga defeats Michigan State 64-63, a classic in the Armed Forces Classic. Of course, we will have a live report with Alex Crescenti coming up from San Diego later in sports. Guys.
What a show. Thank you, Julian. As people across the inland Northwest pause to honor our veterans today, one grumpy World War II veteran from the Historic Flight Foundation at Spokane's Felt Field rumbled to life to honor those who went to war and to teach America's young. 4 News Now's Brian Neal introduces us to Grumpy.
This is Grumpy, a Mitchell B-25.
This airplane served in the European theater in World War II, so it's a war veteran itself.
Like many of our older Americans, it takes a little more time for him to get going on a chilly morning. But soon enough, Grumpy is warmed up and ready to go.
All right, we cycled the props. We just got to do feather, barrow.
Today, pilots Jay Pemberton and John Sessions are at the controls. There's nothing quite like the roar of a B-25.
Well, the B-25 was immortalized by the Doolittle raid in April of 1942 when the country was in a funk, having been victimized by Pearl Harbor just 4 months prior.
On this Veterans Day, the mission for Grumpy is to honor those who were willing to give their lives for America. Pemberton and Sessions guided Grumpy on a path over the Coeur d'Alene Veterans Day celebration, Spokane's VA Hospital, Fairchild Air Force Base, and the Veterans Cemetery, a nod to those who came home from war but are no longer with us.
It's the history of World War II, it's the homage to all the people who fought in that conflict, and then it's the tradition of the military as well.
Back on the ground, at home, Grumpy is put to bed.
Girls, and boy, get together and smile.
Only to be greeted by those just learning about his story and the stories of America's veterans.
Well, I've been fighting tears this whole time. I don't know about you. Very choked up. Just them being able to come and watch planes come in and then sit up here in the cockpit.
Michelle Triant and Gina Yak brought their children to the Historic Flight Foundation today to visit Grumpy.
So for them to be able to get those lessons and experience it for themselves in a tactile way is, there's nothing like it.
The old boy might be nearly 80 years old, but this old veteran still has something to teach us about our past, about this day, and about the men and women who served our country.
Oh, like my grandpa used to say, it's dusty in here. Well, if you'd like to get a closer look at Grumpy and others, including a P-51, the Historic Flight Association is open Tuesday through Sunday, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. at Phelps Field.
Here at 4 News Now, we want to honor those who have served our country. All day, we will be sharing photos of the veterans in your life on TV and online, including Delbert Clute, who served 4 years in the Air Force from 1961 to 1965. We also want to thank Donald Beck, who served in the Navy, and Douglas Strand, who served in the Army. Once again, from all of us here at 4 News Now, thank you for your service.
There's a new place for veterans to receive medical and supportive care in Idaho, and it is now open in Post Falls. Opening just in time for Veterans Day, it's now the 4th veterans home run by the Idaho Division of Veterans Services. Other campuses are in Idaho. The Post Falls campus, though, is a state-of-the-art building with 4 neighborhoods of rooms and 64 rooms total. Veterans who receive care here can expect private single beds, single bath spaces to live in.
Veteran has their absolute own space. They don't share it with another veteran. It's probably offering them the best quality of life that's possible in a 24/7 medical facility.
To qualify as a resident, you need to be a veteran that has around-the-clock medical needs. The Veterans Home also has amenities that make it feel like a community, like a dining area, a barber shop, and a salon and physical therapy room, also a chapel. The home is also hiring for various healthcare, culinary, administrative, and maintenance jobs. For more information about the new Post Falls Veterans Home, see this story on KXLY.com.
My word, that was beautiful. Temperature today, only 33 degrees. 44 is our average high, and we started the day off at only 18 degrees. 418 was our sunset times. A lot of winter showing up on the almanac. I'll let you know if there's any sign of fall in the 7-day forecast after the break.
Sign up for breaking news alerts with the 4 News Now app.
4 News Now is brought to you by Foothills Mazda.
Oh, life, how we admire you, are deeply fascinated by you. All your twists and turns and wild rides you take us on. The ups and the downs. Life, you live inside all of us, breathing, growing, beating. You are the reason we'll always provide world-class healthcare. Providence, we see the life in you.
For people who love their vehicles, there's only one name on their holiday list: WeatherTech. Laser-measured floor liners that fit perfectly in the front and rear. Seat protector to guard against spills and messes. Cargo liner, bump step, and no-drill mud flaps to protect the exterior. And Cup Phone keeps phones secure and handy. Shop for everyone on your list with American-made products at WeatherTech.com.
Next week, America's favorite morning show is going
in search of the most delicious pies in America.
With Thanksgiving almost here, where can you get the best pie in America?
It's Good Morning America's United States of Pie.
Ooh, this is gonna be so sweet. You share it?
This is it, the moment you've been waiting for. Game day. No, game days. More than you can count. And at Turf Club Sportsbook, we've got all the action with real sports betting, wall-to-wall HDTVs, and luxury seating. Just off the casino floor at Northern Quest, so you can bet, watch, and win on every game day. Turf Club Sportsbook, the ultimate game changer, only at Northern Quest.
The brave nurse who stopped a serial killer.
He was a monster.
Next, Inside Edition, he's said to be America's most prolific serial killer. How she helped stop his monstrous murder spree.
He murdered people right in front of me.
And how he got away with it for so long. Then, mom under fire for taking her son to Hooters for his 5th birthday party. Next, Inside Edition.
Watch 4 News Now at 6 and Inside Edition at 7.
I was so happy the sprinkler folks were able to do the blowout this morning despite the recent cold weather. See what happens when you procrastinate, even when you know what's coming, because we have had 3 nights in the teens in a row. With the clouds moving in, it looks like we'll stay in the lower 20s tonight. A high tomorrow of 35 degrees, partly to mostly sunny skies. Still so many fall things we need to get done in the yard. The raking, the bulb planting, the transplanting. But I don't think any of that is going to happen, as we are going to stay with these very cool temperatures. Winds will be light tomorrow. Here's a look at our satellite and radar. Normally I like to zoom in right on the inland northwest to show you how the weather is impacting us, but there's nothing happening really close to us. We have to zoom out. We have an area of low pressure here off the coast that's sending us some clouds tonight. Those will help keep things a little bit warmer. Overnight tonight, looks like we'll stay in the 20s instead of the teens, but it is sinking off to the south. Here's a look at the broad view of what's going on. We have another system waiting out in the Pacific. This one's heading to the north. This one's heading to the south, and this one is not going to have a prayer against high pressure as we go through the weekend. The clouds clear. That system, as I mentioned, doesn't have any luck as high pressure exerts itself over the region. That means we are going to stay dry. It is going to stay cold with some patchy morning fog, a little bit of sunshine as we get into the afternoon, and no real sign of snow, but no sign of fall weather either. We are in the winter weather with lows tonight in the teens and lower 20s around the region. We're a little bit warmer than we have been the past 3 nights, thanks to those clouds. Then those clouds clear out as we get into the day tomorrow, and that will help temperatures get up into the 30s and 40s for highs. Still about 10 degrees, between 5 and 10 degrees below average, but warmer than today. Winthrop, one of the exceptions, in the 20s, but we'll be close to 40 in Coeur d'Alene and Wenatchee, 40 in Ritzville, and 45 tomorrow in Lewiston. Here's a look at your 7-day forecast, and there's not a lot going on. A persistent weather pattern with temperatures in the 30s for highs, overnight lows in the teens and 20s. You'll see minor changes to this forecast as the amount of fog and low cloud cover that we have will impact our high and low temperatures, but this is a pretty good basis of what we can expect. About the only thing that I see you might notice a change in, we have a slight chance of some flurries as we get into Wednesday and Thursday, but nothing you have to rush to get winter tires for, nothing to shovel or snow blow, and just persistently cold through the next 7 days. I'll be back in the next half hour looking to the mountains. There's some skiing to be done. Your ski report coming up soon. Aaron?
Thank you, Chris. And tonight, one local entrepreneur will be entering the Shark Tank. Why he says his product will reshape the way we think about kegs.
And before we go to break, we want to share some more photos of the veterans in your life. Thank you for your service.
Download the 4 News Now app today.
At Providence, we've been investing in the health of the community and raising the standard of care for over 160 years. And we are honored to bring you top-rated Medicare Advantage coverage. Providence plans start at just $0, include dental, hearing, and vision, and connect you to a network of thousands of local providers. Providence. Join us as we make community stronger by building true health together.
People are stressed about money, and having a financial plan is the first step to kind of lifting that weight off your shoulders. Financial education is my way of giving back to the community by being able to help members in branch and getting the opportunity to go out into schools and teach kids about how to put themselves in a better position financially. There are many different ways that Numerica gives back to the community. Financial education is one of them.
Scarlett was sitting at home freezing by candlelight without power. She looks at her boyfriend's photograph next to his quality stove, so warm and cozy. She says, "I must have heat. I can't wait another week." Buy you and your loved ones the gift of warmth. Scarlett finds the perfect selection of Lopi and Fireplace Extraordinaire gas, wood, and pellet stoves that will keep her warm. Red hot sale at Quality Stoves.
Thanks to you, we have collected thousands of coats during this year's Coats for Kids campaign. The coats have now been cleaned thanks to Alsco and are ready for distribution. If you know a child in need of a warm winter coat, go to KXLY.com/coatsforkids to find a distribution location near you.
All of us at Jewelry Design Center would like to give a huge thank you to the community for donating amazing coats. We were more than proud to be a part of this awesome tradition for Spokane.
A combination of fun and performance is why Kylie and I are excited to show you the Subaru Crosstrek.
The all-wheel drive Crosstrek offers an available 2.5-liter Subaru Boxer engine, giving you extra performance and power unlike anything on or off the road.
There's no shortage of space for passengers and a surprising amount of cargo room for your gear.
The Crosstrek has an 8-inch touchscreen with Apple CarPlay, connecting you with your favorite apps and navigation.
Check out the Subaru Crosstrek and receive no-problem customer attention at Parker Subaru in beautiful Coeur d'Alene.
4 News Now is brought to you by Chewelah Casino.
Students in Seattle are planning a citywide walkout following a school shooting earlier this week.
King 5's Julie Calhoun explains what they say needs to change.
Tuesday morning, a terrifying scene at Ingram High School that students will never forget.
We hid in the corner. My friend was on crutches, so I was carrying her bag because she was worried that she couldn't run.
When I started hearing police sirens, it became really real. And I remember having to pull out my phone and actually type out to friends and family, like, "I love you, I don't know what's happening, I might die."
Seniors Sophie and Katie say it took 15 minutes into the lockdown to learn the shooting was targeted to one student. Seattle police got the call of a shooting inside the school just before 10 a.m., where they found one student shot who later died.
I also feel really angry because I believe that this could have been prevented.
Sophie and Katie are leaders in the school's club, Ingram for Gun Safety. They started the club after the deadly school shooting in Uvalde.
We felt incredibly helpless after that, and we wanted to have some tangible activism in our community. When we created the club, I don't think we ever imagined that we'd be in the situation that we are now.
Now they're calling for change. Some of the group's big demands include more mental health counseling with one counselor for every 200 students, and security officers in schools who have received de-escalation and anti-racism training.
I'm putting all of my thoughts and emotions about what happened that day towards active change.
For Katie and Sophie, they want adults to listen and do something.
We're all children, and we do not have the equipment to cope with this, and no child does.
Seattle Public Schools superintendent said Wednesday the district will conduct a safety and security audit, create a community action team, and launch a child well-being council.
Well, they risked their lives fighting for our country. Now many of them don't have a home. What you can do to help veterans experiencing homelessness coming up. Plus,
pouring yourself a drink has never been easier. This is Esther Bauer with 4 News Now. I'm here in Spokane Valley, where a local entrepreneur is taking his idea to the big screen, pitching it all the way to the sharks on Shark Tank.
Stream 4 News Now on your TV for free with the KXLY Plus app.
It's time for a new shower, but you don't want the hassle. You just want it done. Rebath, from start to stunning. Call us or visit rebath.com and save $1,250 off your complete bathroom remodel.
Do you want to save energy this winter? Time to talk with the experts at Country Homes Power. Save on Valor gas fireplaces that distribute steady, even heat even when the power is out. Turn down your furnace and heat wisely with Valor. Shop the savings at Country Homes Power today.
The Veterans Holiday Sale is on this week through Monday at Walker's Furniture with some of the biggest store-wide savings of the year, including a double your sales tax discount or no minimum purchase, no money down, no interest for up to 5 years.
This is your opportunity to treat you and your family to the gift of new furniture that everyone can enjoy.
And with a double sales tax discount, it's the perfect time to get your home ready for the holidays.
Furnish your life for less. This Veterans Weekend at Walker's.
The doctor will see you now.
But do they really? Do they see that crick in your neck? That ache in your heart? Will they see that funny little thing that wasn't there last year? The new bounce in your step? The way your retinal scan connects to your blood sugar? At Kaiser Permanente, all of us work together to care for all that is you.
The world needs solutions.
Like now.
We need more voices.
More voices?
More voices.
Not less.
We don't build barriers.
We tear them down.
I learn from great books, but I write my own story and look to the future.
The world needs me.
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 This Veterans Weekend, when you visit a Cal dealership near you, you can receive a free American flag with every test drive. Plus, with every vehicle sold, $184 will be donated to Heroes Homestead to support local veterans in our community.
It's time for a new shower, but you don't want the hassle. You just want it done. Rebath, from start to stunning. Call us or visit rebath.com and save $1,250 off your complete bathroom remodel.
Live from downtown Spokane, this is 4 News Now at 6:30.
And to see the fact that 20 veterans a day commit suicide tells you something. Something's going wrong. And they're on the streets, which is just horrible.
Mental health needs and homelessness are major concerns impacting our veterans. The U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs says more than 33,000 veterans are experiencing homelessness.
While that number is lower than it was a few years ago, too many of the men and women who served our country are on the streets today. New at 6:30, Bronte Sarosky joins us in studio with more on how you can help veterans in need.
Well, this Veterans Day, people around the country honor and thank those who fought to keep us safe. But now, with how many veterans are living on the streets, there's more work to be done to honor them.
It's hard to explain what veterans go through because only veterans know.
Daniel Colony served in the Air Force as a firefighter for almost 10 years, fighting to keep us safe. But during his time serving, he developed PTSD that made life outside of the military a challenge.
I've been struggling for a very long time with some things that happened when I was in the military.
Now, he stays at a transitional housing unit for veterans through Volunteers of America.
There's a variety of reasons why people end up homeless. We do find that with veterans, oftentimes it does come down to mental health issues, that there's just not enough services out there for them to be able to access the care they need.
At this veteran housing, they're able to receive mental health services and other tools they need to be successful in the world.
The data last year was we typically got like 60 to 70% of our veterans housed within the first 90 to 120 days that they were in our housing, which is great because it is a 2-year program, and some of them it does take 2 years, and that's totally okay.
Daniel says he's not quite ready to leave the housing yet, but says he's looking forward to eventually starting over.
And I'm excited. You know, I've lost a lot of years, and now it's like you can't go back and start over, but you can start today, make a new beginning, and that's what I'm after. You know, I want to go live in Mexico and walk around in shorts and Birkenstocks and just kind of kick back.
He says the housing VOA has given him and other veterans has him feeling the best he has in over 20 years. And if you'd like to help out our veterans experiencing homelessness in the Inland Northwest, Volunteers of America is always accepting apartment essentials to help veterans transition once they find more permanent housing. That information will be available on our website, KXLY.com. Live in studio, Bronte Sorotsky, 4 News Now.
Bronte, thank you. A special Veterans Day event happened today at Veterans Memorial Arena in Spokane to honor a Navy SEAL who tragically lost his life to suicide. Chad Wilkinson served in several deployments, experienced traumatic brain injury and blast wave injuries, and eventually PTSD before he took his life in 2018. Today, people gathered to raise money for the Step Up Foundation, which aims to bring awareness and resources to prevent suicide among our veterans. Volunteers did a special exercise in honor of Chad.
It was his workout to do 1,000 weighted step-ups. That's what he did as a workout. And so this Veterans Day is to honor him, to honor and remember every veteran lost to suicide, and to do something very positive for it.
In addition to the Step Up Challenge, the first 150 veterans received gifts for serving our country, and our own Mark Peterson was there to MC that event.
We are continuing to honor those who have served tonight. We want to say thank you to Army Corporal Justin Klaus. He was killed in Afghanistan during his second tour in 2014. He grew up in Sprague, Washington, and a friend of his says he is deeply missed. We also want to thank 2 former Spokane school teachers, Lena and Carl Schmidt, who both served during World War II. Their daughter says Lena served as a recruiter in the States, and Carl was deployed overseas in Italy, where he served as a gunner for the Army Air Corps. He returned home after completing 50 missions.
Thank you for your service, and a live look over the Spokane Veterans Memorial Arena right now, where Chiefs fans are piling in. Plenty warm in the arena, but boy, that is going to be a cold walk to the car afterwards. Here are 4 things to know about your weather. It's going to be a cold Friday evening. We're already in the 20s, and that's where it is going to stay. No breeze, however, light winds. That makes it a little bit better. And the clouds overnight should keep our temperatures from dropping down to quite the levels they have been the past 3 mornings. We'll stay in the lower 20s rather than the teens. Expect some sunshine by Saturday afternoon. We are going to keep with this cold weather pattern right on into next week and beyond. Temperatures right now, 28 in Spokane, Grand Coulee, 23 in Colville right now. We're right at freezing in Pullman. Very few locations where it is above freezing. Moses Lake, Lewiston, both above freezing. Your Saturday planner now, our average high is 44. There's no sign of 40s in the forecast. We're heading up to a high of 35. Again, some low clouds and patchy fog to start the day, possibly some areas of freezing fog. Then mostly sunny conditions once we're into the afternoon. I'll be back with the second half of your weekend forecast and the ski report. You can ski this weekend. I'll tell you all about it in just a few minutes, Aaron.
Thank you, Chris. And this weekend could be a good opportunity to clear out the leaves around your house, even though all of them probably haven't fallen yet. The City of Spokane Clean Green Curbside Yard Waste Collection Service lasts until Friday, November 2nd. City officials say it's helpful for people to clean up and properly dispose of their leaves in their yards now before we start to see more storms come through. Excess leaves tend to clog up the storm drains too, creating flooding in the streets. The green carts can be filled with leaves, pine needles, grass, pumpkins, pine cones, other yard waste. Just make sure not to overload the bins and that the lid closes completely. A local entrepreneur will test his luck on Shark Tank tonight. Square Keg wants to take drinks on demand to a whole new level.
Yeah, the father and husband recently quit his corporate job to pursue this dream, and now he's looking for a deal from the wealthy sharks to help his business reach new heights. New at 6 tonight, Esther Bauer shows us the product he's pitching.
Imagine opening your fridge and having a keg ready to go. That's what this is, and a local entrepreneur is now taking his bold idea to the big screen on Shark Tank.
Drinks on tap are more fun.
It's an idea Tim Laux tapped into back in 2017.
I woke up in the middle of the night and I was just thinking how inefficient round kegs were because they waste a lot of space in storage, refrigeration, or even in transit.
A light went off in his head, now coming to life in this warehouse. A small team of 5 employees is now shaping steel into a business.
Our first product to market is Square One. It's a mini keg, so you can put your favorite beverage on tap in your fridge or a cooler, pretty much in any environment.
He stepped into a new environment over the summer, pitching his product on a Shark Tank episode airing Friday night.
I'm gonna make you filthy rich.
Tim sure hopes so.
It's been a long process, but I think we'll see tonight it was probably worth it.
The cost of quitting his job and building a business from the ground up hasn't been easy.
Being an entrepreneur, I think a lot of times it gets portrayed as being like glamorous or whatever, overnight success. That's all complete bogus. It's the hardest thing I've ever done in my life, but the most gratifying all at the same time.
Tim's ready to grow his business by showcasing Square Keg on the national stage and hoping the Sharks will bite.
Let's do this.
In Spokane Valley, Esther Bauer, 4 News Now.
Ooh, we have lots of questions. And you can watch Tim's Shark Tank episode right here on 4 News Now. Shark Tank airs at 8 o'clock, and we are wishing him all the best.
And coming up in sports, Gonzaga has won the Armed Forces Classic. We have a live report from San Diego. That's after the break.
Sign up for breaking news alerts with the 4 News Now app.
4 News Now is brought to you by the Sweet Palace and Sapphire Jewelry in Phillipsburg, Montana. Bill's Heating and Air Conditioning is your family-owned and operated #1 HVAC contractor in the Northwest. Bill's Heating and Air Conditioning would like to introduce our own carbon reduction program. Buy a new energy-efficient furnace from Bill's Heating and receive a matching air conditioner with installation absolutely free. No hidden fees, no conditions, no exceptions. Buy a furnace, get a free AC from Bill's Heating and Air Conditioning. Call today for estimates and repairs.
This time of year, conditions can change drastically in minutes. For weather that extreme, you need the 4 News Now First Alert Weather Team. Online, on the air, and on the app. That's what we mean when we say expect more.
I've been having a great time with the team. They've been really welcoming.
Really?
They're not just an Ace Hardware. They have an amazing selection of top name brand sporting goods, grills, and my favorite, camping gear. They also have a full paint department.
Hi, I'm Tom Barony. Hi, I'm Miles Barony, and I'm here to invite you to our new store opening at Liberty Lake. Saturday, November 12th, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m.
I don't think we've ever had that in 14 seasons.
I will work like a lion. I'm a believer.
I'm gonna make you filthy rich.
Let's go!
New Shark Tank tonight on ABC and stream on Hulu.
With holidays right around the corner, Ironstone Furniture and Fire is offering discounts on all in-stock dining sets, along with simplicity, indulgence, and endless possibilities. So, when you're looking for dining at its best, visit Ironstone Furniture and Fire in Coeur d'Alene.
Next ET, Will Ferrell ready to bring back Buddy the Elf?
Maybe we can get...
happy you asked.
Oh, spill the tea.
Plus, Only We're with Jane Fonda celebrating a big birthday milestone.
Oh, yes, I'm very aware.
Then, before Yellowstone, there was Twilight.
I was just a pup then.
You were just a pup, and you're still just a pup.
Our exclusive with Gil Birmingham.
Next to E.T.
Watch 4 News Now at 6 and Entertainment Tonight at 7:30.
Two of college basketball's most successful programs faced off in one of the most unique settings the sport has ever seen. Welcome into sports. I'm Julian Minnesone. Gonzaga and Michigan State met on the flight deck of the USS Abraham Lincoln in San Diego as part of the Armed Forces Classic, and it did not disappoint. It showed in the first half, though, that this was a little bit of a different game than your usual college basketball game, being outdoors. A little sloppy at times, but once it got going, man, it was electric. Julian Strother gets the 3 for Gonzaga. But head coach Mark Few for the Bulldogs, he said Michigan State would be tough, and he was not wrong. Tyson Walker hits the 3 for the Spartans. Spartans led by double digits in this game, but Drew Timme took over. I mean, how do you even make that shot? Timme led the way with 22 points for the Zags. They got the final defensive stop in the last seconds of the game. Gonzaga defeats Michigan State 64-63. Drew Timme was named the game's MVP, a classic in the Armed Forces Classic. And now we bring in Alex Crescenti, who had a front row seat to this historic game. Alex, how did the Zags pull this one off?
You know, Julian, just an incredible day capped off by possibly the game of the year in the college basketball season. And we're only 1 week through it as Gonzaga outlast Michigan State here on the flight deck. We're wrapping up as the team just ecstatic after that win. I've never seen anything quite like it, where it's just the emotion, the environment, everything that came with this game. It was just so unique in that feeling. And it was a game that was bigger than basketball in and of itself. But yeah, in terms of the game, how did Gonzaga do it? Well, it was Drew Timme. That guy just took over in the second half and was not going to let his team lose. He was just a force to be reckoned with. You see why he's an All-American. You see why he's a preseason All-American this year. And he just, you know, a double-double to go along with it after so many players getting into foul trouble. It's just almost hard to believe, but this is the type of win that they need early on in the season to jolt them into the kind of schedule that they're going to have. They got Texas coming up this week, and then in the Spokane Arena next Sunday, it's going to be Kentucky, and then they go to the Phil Knight Classic in Portland, and then Baylor. It's just so many tough games here, and you know, this was exactly the win, and it didn't look like they were going to get the win early on. Michigan State was just taking it to them. We had heard early on that, you know, these Tom Izzo teams are just so physical, and that's what happened. But, you know, in the end, it was Gonzaga and Mark Few pulling this one out.
And Alex, give me some perspective on this whole thing, because you mentioned this game was so much bigger than basketball. What did you, the players, the coaches, take away from all this?
You know, this was a very emotional kind of setting. It was just like the goosebumps that you got at the national anthem, and then the flyover right before the game. There were so many elements that you don't normally associate with a basketball game because it's played inside of an arena, so you don't have to deal with that. You know, and we were out here in the elements. There was just so much, you know, more than just the game. And so I think that was just, it makes for an incredible game. And I hope they do this again, because, you know, there's nothing quite like it.
All right, thank you, Alex. Good work out there. We'll be looking for your report tonight from 11 o'clock. It also should be of note that West Coast Conference Commissioner Gloria Nevarez is leaving the WCC to join the Mountain West as its conference commissioner. We'll have more on that story tonight on Nightside. That'll wrap us up for sports.
Julian, thank you so much. And with just 2 weeks until Black Friday, 2 weeks, are you ready? Retailers are out with early deals to get your attention and your money. Target is offering its holiday price match guarantee through Christmas Eve, and at Walmart, keep an eye out for Monday deals.
Keep in mind that the bulk of the best deals are still probably going to come around Thanksgiving and Black Friday.
To optimize savings, experts say you can make a list of gifts with current prices, determine a good discount price, and be reasonable about what you would actually pay.
Here's a look at ABC's primetime lineup tonight.
Download the 4 News Now app today.
During Kerner Furniture's holiday season sale, we have the perfect recipe to make your season special.
First, add a dash of cozy sofa for nights curled up watching a movie.
Then, add a 7-piece dining set for extra room for friends.
And finally, add a luxurious bedroom set for extra sweet dreams.
During Kerner Furniture's holiday season sale, we have all the ingredients you need to make your home holiday ready.
With great prices and selection, you can't go wrong with Kerner Furniture during our holiday season sale.
Nice store, low prices.
Sometimes you're so busy taking care of everyone else, you don't do enough for yourself or your mouth. But eventually it will remind you. When it does, Aspen Dental is here for you. We offer the custom dental treatments you need all under one roof right nearby, so we can bring more life to your smile and more smile to your life, affordably. New patients without insurance can get a free complete exam and x-rays and 20% off treatment plans. Aspen Dental, anything to make you smile. Schedule your appointment today.
Good morning.
Rise and shine.
Watch Daytime's #1 duo, weekdays at 9 a.m.
When COVID hit, we were scrambling to figure out what are we going to do. Literally got phone call from Numerica. Hey, we just want to let you know we're here for you. We've got funding that we're sending your way. And I mean, I cried on the phone.
It's just nice to have
a place that can give some sort of stability and hope and get you back on track to where you need to be. Thank you so much for all your support. It actually means something greatly to us.
Next live, Linda Cardellini and Louis Tomlinson performs.
You would have loved the food at the Pierre.
Am I allowed to ask her about the food?
You're already deep into it. Tell me all about it.
Watch live Monday at 9, right after GMA.
The best holiday moments are even better when shared. Experience more together in the Mazda CX-9 with a refined performance of standard iActive all-wheel drive and a wish list of interior comforts. Find yours during the season of inspiration.
The 7-passenger Mazda CX-9. Get it for your family, drive it for yourself. Come take a test drive today at Foothills Mazda or shop now at SpokaneMazda.com.
More Americans choose ABC News, America's #1 news source.
This next story, kind of a big deal. This may look like a real jar of pickles, but it's actually a candle. It's made of 100% wax. That means even the pickles that appear to be floating in the jar are not edible. Vlasic says the candle goes on sale on Monday in honor of National Pickle Day.
I like a pickle, but what?
Yeah, that's a stocking stuffer for sure.
I have a kid who might dig that, but we don't allow them to light candles in our house.
That's true.
I think I'll just get some pickles instead. Let's take a look at the snow cover. This is the current snow cover. Here we are, just barely into November, and we already have a fair amount of snow on the ground. I was trying to figure out what was missing here, and I did fail to put the towns. So you are right here if you are in Spokane, but you can see we have snow cover throughout the inland Northwest, with the exception of parts of the Palouse and the Columbia Basin. Certainly the mountains have their share of snow. Here's the key up here, those darker blues indicating more than 2 feet of snow in those locations, just a little bit around the Spokane and Coeur d'Alene area, but typically we would not have much on the ground, if any at all. There's enough that 49 degrees north not only open today, I heard it was a great day up there from the people lucky enough to be up there at the peak. 30 inches of snow. They will be open Saturday and Sunday and then close. Hopefully we'll get some more snow up there for some fresh tracks. Lookout Pass, speaking of fresh tracks, is opening for the first time tomorrow. 44 inches of snow at the peak, 29 at the base. This is very early to open. 34 the forecast for tomorrow. No snow in the forecast. Schweitzer will not be open this weekend, but they are opening the 19th and the 20th. Still waiting for an update from Mount Spokane and Silver as to their concrete plans, but both spots predicting an earlier opening than what they typically experience. It's all good news for skiers and snowboarders, and the snow there may get plenty of tracks, but it is not going to melt with temperatures like this. It's not even melting on the street in front of the house. Here's the average high temperature, this white line right here. For the next 7 days, we're going to be way down here. Now, the extended forecast, 8 to 14, is backing off a little bit on the below average temperatures. We're in the light blue for November 19th through the 25th, and we're starting to see a trend toward above average temperatures along the West Coast. Interesting development. Also backing off a little bit on precipitation. Above average temperature or precipitation along the coast, below average precipitation to our east. We're in the gray area in between, so stay tuned as we get into that extended forecast. But for the next 7 days, it is going to be cold and quiet with high temperatures in the 30s, overnight lows in the teens and 20s. All of those numbers you see on the screen are below average, Aaron.
Ooh, and that is cold weather, especially if you're thinking about going out and possibly, riding a bike.
Right, but there's a group of winter cyclists who are gearing up to pedal through the snow this winter. We have a feeling. In this week's Air for Adventure, we give you a bird's eye view of how they managed to carve through Canfield Mountain outside of Coeur d'Alene.
We're out here fat biking on Canfield Mountain.
I got a ton of snow last few days, so I'm going to go see what we can do. So this is part of its Forest Service property, and it's been a recreational area for forever. Fat biking is basically modified mountain bikes. They're built around really big tires, so that allows you to ride on top of groomed snow or somewhat packed snow. Feels like single track in the summertime, but you're in the middle of winter, cruising down a snowy, beautiful snowy trail. When it gets this deep, sometimes it gets really tough. But it is always fun to be out in the snow. And so certain trails are better for deep snow than others. It's safe to say that it's always a lot of work, but it's fun work. Most bike shops will have 1 or 2 demo bikes or rentals. I know we do a Vertical Earth, and I'm pretty sure all the other bike shops around do. It is a little different skill riding a fat bike. You have to just drop the tire pressure down to the point where you can ride on the snow. It's so beautiful up there. You get up there on top of the mountain and get just the huge vistas. And yeah, it can be really nice.
Stream 4 News Now on your TV for free with the KXLY Plus app.
Save more at the Floor Trader Outlet year-end clearance sale. Waterproof LVP flooring starts at only 59 cents. Carpet just $1.15 and tile starts at only 89 cents. The Floor Trader Outlet's year-end clearance sale. Hurry.
It's where the Northwest saves on flooring.
Corner of Division and Francis.
Find your happy places in wide open spaces. Yes, R&R RV Center has an RV for you. Sunset Trail travel trailers, Cruiser Air fifth wheels, all-wheel drive camper vans, and of course, Montana, the #1 selling fifth wheel. Every RV at R&R RV is prepped and ready for immediate delivery. Plus, the new 2023 models are arriving. Visit R&R RV today in Liberty Lake, North Spokane, and Lewiston, or online at rnrrv.com.
Hey, Greens. How's everything going today?
Hey, Robert. We're good. Just checking in on that car loan we applied for.
No worries. Let me pull that up. Yep. Looks like you're approved and all set.
Hey, that's great news.
So, you headed over to the dealership now?
Yep. Just gotta make one stop first.
And we got a great rate, too.
Let's wave the flag together. Hello, I'm Mark Peterson with 4 News Now, presenting the Great American Flag Swap. Bring your old tattered flag to a flag swap coming early next year, and in exchange, you'll receive a new American-made flag from Uncle Sam's Flag and Gift.
Dave Smith Motors has been serving the local community for over 50 years, and we're proud to support the Great American Flag Swap. If you've visited our dealership in the Silver Valley, you know how much we value our country and its national symbol of freedom. Dave Smith Motors, honoring our veterans and all who serve.
Coeur d'Alene Denture Clinic is locally owned and operated and has been providing personalized, comfortable, and satisfying care to our clients for over 30 years. Our licensed denturists are trained in the latest techniques in the construction, development, and preparatory work of a denture. Full dentures, implant attachments, repairs, fittings, adjustments, we do it all. Every denture is made to look as close as possible to your natural teeth. With our knowledge and friendly staff, competitive costs, and quality of service, you'll leave Coeur d'Alene Denture Clinic smiling.
Save more at the Floor Trader Outlet year-end clearance sale. Waterproof LVP flooring starts at only 59 cents. Carpet just $1.15 and tile starts at only 89 cents. The Floor Trader Outlet's year-end clearance sale. Hurry.
It's where the Northwest saves on flooring.
Corner of Division and Francis.
4 News Now is brought to you by All Lines Insurance at alllinesinsured.com.
The weekend is here. It's going to be a cold weekend. High temperatures in the mid-30s, but we should have some sunshine, particularly Saturday afternoon. Little patchy freezing fog as well. Very chilly starts to the day. Get that coffee going. Doesn't that look cozy inside? Looking out at someone else raking your leaves.
Oh, are you volunteering?
No, I am suggesting I will be inside drinking coffee.
I'm going to have a cup that large tomorrow morning.
And you too. I guess I'm
Life-size.
stuck breaking leaves then. This is ridiculous.